Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Construction Week's Expo Reaction Series, where we speak to officials spearheading the participation of various countries at the world's greatest event. I am Ranju Warrior and joining me today is Severi Kainala, Commissioner General of Finland at Expo 2020 Dubai. Thank you so much for joining us today, Severi.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Ranju.
To get started with, can you tell us, Severi, Finland was involved in Expo 2020 Dubai steering committee discussions on the postponement?
Yes, I am honored to be representing the Northern European countries in the steering committee. And we had very lively discussions among the commissioners and within the steering committee and beyond about the pandemic situation and its impact on Expo. Gradually, we all agreed that the situation was serious enough that there was no other option but postponement of Expo. I'm extremely happy that Expo and BE could make the decision in a very fast way, that we could all adapt to the situation, and we all unanimously wanted to create the world's greatest show. That was not possible this year, but next year it will be.
With the BIE now having said that 2/3 majority vote has already been reached despite the 29th May deadline, what does the postponement of the World Expo mean for Finland?
Long before, we had already realized that that is the only way to go with the postponement. So we have started the preparations for the opening of next year already some time ago. Naturally, this means many things. None of us we were prepared for the additional year. The first implication is, of course, the construction activity that has to be adapted to the new situation. Also, we have questions of staffing, our programming, our communications. Everything had to be adjusted to the situation, and a new way forward had to be drafted. Also, one issue that we all are battling with is the question of budgets. Nobody had budgeted an additional year, so now we have to seek to minimize the additional costs and find new sources of funding for the additional costs that occur from the postponement.
Finland's participation is based on public-private partnership. So since you already mentioned about budget and funding, how will this postponement affect the partner companies at the pavilion?
That was our great concern in the beginning, but actually none of our partners, none of the companies have withdrawn, and everybody is really committed. We have total of 50 partners comprising of companies and clusters, altogether about 100 companies in the project, and all of them are on board.
I know in your earlier response, you did touch upon the construction activities at the Finland pavilion. I would like you to tell me if the postponement has actually affected ongoing construction activities at the Snow Cape themed Finnish pavilion, and if so, how has it affected?
As a whole, the construction process continues on track with slight delays of few days, nothing major. But what we have to do now, due to the 1 year extension, is that we have to postpone certain works. We don't want to do the final finish. Like in the background, you see the white tent material. We don't want to put that up yet. We don't want to put the final surfaces, final paints, all the sensitive equipment into the pavilion now, but we want to install them next year, only a few weeks or months before the opening, so that we can provide a fresh pavilion for the visitors when the Expo opens. We have gone through the process of identifying what works will be postponed to next year, and it's basically the surfaces inside and outside the pavilion. Otherwise, we are very well on the track, and the completion of the pavilion building will take place this summer as scheduled, with those few elements missing.
Moving on with our last question in this session, how is Finland safeguarding the health and safety of its workers on site with the global outbreak of coronavirus?
When the coronavirus hit and the effects of the pandemic were felt in the Expo site, Expo Mobilia was very quick to react and put in place procedures and protocols that fulfill all the Expo and UAE requirements and go even beyond that. Overall, I would say that considering the circumstances, situation has been handled very, very well.
That's really amazing how Expo Mobilia is working along the Finland team to make sure, the health and safety of its workers is being safeguarded, and they're taking care of it very well, even this challenging times. That's all for us. We're actually coming to an end for this video. I would like to thank you, Sevri, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for your invitation and opportunity to express our position in this. And I wish you all the best, for you and for the listeners, all the health and endurance in this battle that we are going globally together, as we said in the Finnish 100-year theme.
All the best to you and the Finland team at the World Expo. That's all for today's video in the Expo Reaction series. And we were talking to Sevri Kainala, Commissioner General of Finland at Expo 2020 Dubai. We will be seeing you very soon in another interesting episode in this series. And I hope all of you are keeping safe and healthy and staying home. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.